What's up everyone? Welcome back to another tutorial with Dallas. So today we're going to be talking about compound conditionals. A compound conditional can be defined as something where many conditions need to be true at a given time for a certain instruction to execute. So if I'm hungry and I'm tired is a true statement, then I need to do something to appease those actions. So what does that have to do with what we're looking at here? Well, today we wrote a little bit of code to help our friend Alonzo find buried treasure in the sand. Now he clicks and drags around in the sand, or we do that, and if he's close, the metal detector will make a sound. So we coded up this little metal detector, and we'll talk about how it works in a second, but before we do that, let's demonstrate the code. So it says, help me find the buried treasure. Click and drag your mouse in the sand. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And so I'm going to click. It says nothing. So just keep scanning, and I'm holding the mouse down as we scan. Now eventually, something should happen. Oh, so we got a little beep. We're coming from this direction, and we went into this region, and then so it seems like we're getting close. Oh, there it is. So we came in from here, and we found it. If we drag away, well, there it is again. So we can almost see that it behaves like a center point, and that makes sense because X marks the spot when you're looking for treasure. So how is this working? It's very intuitive, actually. Let's take a look at the code here. We have the starter code right here, which is Alonzo saying, help me find the buried treasure. And then he says, click and drag your mouse in the sand, and you're close if you hear a sound. So he's just giving some instructions. And then we set these two random values, so we have treasure X and treasure Y. So naturally that stands for the X and Y coordinate within this image of the buried treasure. So you can see here that it was negative 173 and negative 51. And those values come from the fact that we're picking a random value in between negative 180 to 180. And for y, we're picking a random value from negative 100 to 0. So that's why those numbers are there. Now, when we're clicking the mouse down, so that's what this means, when we're clicking and dragging, if this condition is true, and we'll talk about that in a second, then play a note at 60 hertz for half second beats. That's the frequency. Then if this condition is true, say we found the treasure. It's at, here and here, which is the message we're seeing right here. And then otherwise, if not, then say nothing. So that's what we see when we're clicking and dragging out here. But then when we go to the buried treasure, we see the coordinates being displayed. So what are these two conditions right here? Well, you can think of all this nonsense right here as a big square. We're essentially coding a square, and that square can be centered at somewhere within this image. Okay, so just visualize a square in your mind, and this square, how is it created? Well, we're taking the x coordinate that we generated, and we're subtracting 60 from it. And then we're taking that same coordinate, we're adding 60. So horizontally, you can think of wherever the x is, subtract 60 and add 60. And with the y coordinates, we're doing the same thing. So if the y coordinate was here, you add 60 and subtract 60. Now, that will create a sort of cross formation. And you can draw a square around that cross formation, and we're looking at that region right there. So we're saying when the mouse X and the mouse Y, which gives back the current X and Y coordinates of the mouse, when that is within that square, make a beep sound. So right now we're within that square of sides 120. It would have sides 120. So this code down here, if this condition is just creating another square with sides of 40, off of that same X and Y coordinate. So as we get closer to the buried treasure, if our mouse falls within this region right here, then we've actually found the treasure. So this is when we're in the 120 side region, and then this is when we get into the 40 side region. So that's just the nitty gritty of it, but I hope you enjoyed this video. Went a little long today, but it was some dense explanations that I need to get out, but I hope you enjoyed it. It's very cool. One more time, we can see that. Just click and drag. Oh, found that one quick. Oh, we're getting it. There it is. Alright, cool. Yeah, so we're going way over here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.